Hey everyone, today we are going to talk about von Willebrand disease, a very high topic that is often repeated in various exams. We are going to discuss about the key features, including the different types, which is very important, which creates so much of confusion, and we are going to end up with a MCQ. So stay tuned. Let's start with the von Willebrand disease. What happens? What is the job of von Willebrand disease? So von Willebrand disease causes typical platelet adhesion. So platelet adhesion, it is associated with, it acts as a bridge between the subendothelial collagen and platelet, particularly the GP1B glycoprotein it gets attached to. So it acts as a bridge and between the subendothelial collagen and the GP1B of the platelet. As you can see over here, it is getting adhered to the collagen, and it is it is manufactured inside the endothelial cells. It is secreted by the endothelial cells, and whenever there is any kind of a trauma, it gets released and it forms a bridge between the subendothelial collagen and that of the GP1B of the platelet. So it causes platelet adhesion. Not only that, it also causes the factor 8 activation. Basically, it carries the factor 8. That is the most specific word. It carries the factor 8 in the plasma because factor 8 is a short-lived factor. So with addition of von Willebrand factor, it remains stable. Its lifespan is increased. Otherwise, it is going to be depleted very fast in the plasma. It will be degraded. So that is quite needed, that it should be stable and it should be binded with that of von Willebrand factor. So here von Willebrand factor, if there is absence or if there is a defective functioning, then there will be mucocutaneous bleeding that will be seen. And mucocutaneous bleeding will typically manifest as mild petechial hemorrhages over the skin and the mucosal membrane. Sometimes it can present as epistaxis as well. And factor 8 decrease can also lead to mild APTT. It may be normal in some cases, but eventually there will be decrease in APTT in many of the cases. Clinical features: easy bruising, epistaxis, gum bleeding, menorrhagia is a classical feature. Dental procedures may be associated with that of excessive bleeding. Family history. Now, inheritance pattern often asked in the exams, autosomal dominant type of inheritance is there. So majority of the cases are type 1 von Willebrand disease, which is autosomal dominant. Type 2 is the second most common one. All the type 2A, type 2B, type 2M, these are autosomal dominant again, whereas type 2N, it is autosomal recessive, and type 3 von Willebrand disease, that is also autosomal recessive. So remember, type 1 most commonly autosomal dominant, all type 2 autosomal dominant except type 2N, which is autosomal recessive, and type 3 is autosomal recessive. So we talked about the clinical features, the lab features. Platelet count is normal except in some cases we are going to talk about in the next slide. There may be some decrease in the platelet count as well, but majority of the cases there is normal platelet count that is being seen. Bleeding time is increased as seen in all the platelet function disorders. Even in the platelet disorders as well, bleeding time is increased because there will be deficiency of binding of platelets to the subendothelial collagen because of the defective uh, one brand factor. PT will be normal, and PTT is, we talked about, it is mildly increased. Ristocetin cofactor assay, it will typically show decrease activity because ristocetin is the one which enhances the binding of one Willebrand factor to GP1B. It enhances that. So in the diseases associated with GP1B deficiency, that is Bernard-Soulier syndrome or von Willebrand disease, in both the cases, in either of the cases, there will going to be decreased ristocetin activity. So this is often repeated in MCQs. Ristocetin cofactor assay is decrease the activity of ristocetin will be decreased in both von Willebrand factor as well as Bernard-Soulier syndrome. This you should remember. Now coming to the types of von Willebrand diseases. The most common is type 1. This is the overall most common type. Here there is a partial quantitative defect of all the multimers, all the different type, all the large multimers, small multimers, everything is decreased over here, mild decrease. So there will be mild bleeding episodes and mild elevation of bleeding time, and there will be also mild APTT increase as well. So in this case, the desmopressin, which is a ADA synthetic analog, this works very well in type 1B. This is because there is a partial deficiency. And type 2, here there is qualitative defect, more common in type 2, particularly the type 2A. Qualitative defect, loss of large multimers is being seen, and there is poor platelet adhesion is being noted over there. So loss of large multimers, poor platelet adhesion, that leads to bleeding manifestation. So large multimers are the one which actually bind to the platelets. So because of the absence of the specific large multimers, so there is particularly qualitative defect. The quantitative analysis may not show much of defect. It may be normal even, but qualitative defect is there that leads to bleeding and clinical manifestation. Type 2B, here there is something different is happening over here. Increased platelet binding. So that means large multimers have excessive avidity to that of type excessive avidity to that of platelets. So here what will happen, large multimers and platelets, they have a severe affinity or avidity, and they get cleared up by the uh, macrophages, by the reticuloendothelial macrophages, they get cleared off. So that's what happened in type 2B, and it causes thrombocytopenia, and it is contraindicated to give desmopressin. Desmopressin in type 2B is strictly contraindicated because it will cause further release of the von Willebrand factor, which will cause increased binding, and it may cause further thrombocytopenia. So it is quite contraindicated to give desmopressin. Desmopressin or synthetic analog of ADH, the job is to increase the release of uh, the von Willebrand factor from the Weber palate body of the endothelium. So that's why it is contraindicated over here, because it will cause more of thrombocytopenia. Type 2M, defective platelet binding is being seen. Function is reduced, and quantitatively it may be quite normal. More or less it is like that of type 2A, but here all the multimers uh, are normal over here. As such, no specific for deficiency of large multimers. All the multimers are normal, but somehow there is a decreased avidity. So in spite of having normal quantity of multimers, all even including the large multimers, there may be decreased binding to that of platelets. Um, and coming to the type 2N, which is quite peculiar here, as such, the platelet binding function is normal. So PT, as such, bleeding time may not be any affected. PT is normal, but APTT may be slightly raised, and even more raised, because it behaves like hemophilia. Because here the defect is it is not binding to factor 8. It is binding normally to the platelet. That platelet function binding is fine with the von Willebrand factor, but the another function, that is the binding of factor 8, is defective over here. So here there is hemophilia like effect with maybe markedly increased APTT may be noted in these cases. Type 3, severe quantitative defect, almost absent von Willebrand factor, very low level of factor 8, maybe severe thrombocyte, maybe severe rise in APTT, severe bleeding may be seen because of almost absent von Willebrand factor, and also it is also also if it is given desmopressin, it will be of no use, because it is completely absent. So it will not increase uh, the release of von Willebrand factor for endothelial collagen because it is absent. So where it will cause the release? So that's why type 2b and type 3 desmopressin is generally not indicated. These are very high yield MCQs to be asked. So we talked about type 1, type 2a, type 2b, type 2m, and type 2n. So all these are mostly autosomal dominant. As again, to repeat, type 3 is autosomal recessive and type 2n are autosomal recessive. But apart from that, all the other ones, type 1, type 2a, type 2b, type 2m are autosomal dominant type. Most common type is type 1 where there is a partial deficiency of von Willebrand factor, whereas type 3 is the counterpart severe deficiency. So now let's end up with von Willebrand disease. That is a very high topic, definitely bound to get one question in USMLE, NEET PG, INICT. So now let's do a clinical question. Clinical stem. A 14-year-old boy presents with recurrent deep soft tissue bleeding, and he was previously suspected to have mild hemophilia A, but maternal uncle has no bleeding history. So no bleeding history in maternal uncle. The tests show a normal platelet count and normal PT, prolonged PTT, low factor 8 level, and mildly reduced von Willebrand factor activity. So functional assays are showing mild von Willebrand factor activity, and factor 8 level is also reduced, and no maternal uncle has no bleeding history. So that means there is no hemophilia as such, but the hemophilia like situation is happening over here because factor 8 is mildly decreased and prolonged PTT. It is all because of the reduction of the binding of factor 8 to that of von Willebrand factor. So there is a defect in the von Willebrand factor in terms of binding to factor 8 and carrying it in the plasma. So this is type 2N. So type 2N is the answer over here. Type 2N is the von Willebrand disease that is having normal avidity to the platelets. There may be normal level of von Willebrand factor, but its activity in terms of binding to factor 8 is reduced. So here, this will manifest as uh, hemophilia like situation, and bleeding time here bleeding time may not be severely affected, but the most important thing will be is increase APTT will be markedly prolonged, and soft tissue bleeding, that is the clinching evidence. This is a characteristic feature of hemophilia, not that of von Willebrand factor. So more classical feature of hemophilia will be seen in type 2N, and this is autosomal recessive mode of inheritance or transmission is there. Thank you for your patience and kind attention. Stay tuned for another video, and stay hooked and keep learning. Thank you.